Right, Brad, please stand and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Happy Monday, everyone.
Good morning.
I have a motion to approve the minutes of Monday, June 8th, 2026, as written.
I'll move.
Second. Curry moved, Barker seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? That passes 5-0. I have a motion to approve 2 abatements in the amount of $6,577.96.
Also move
Second it.
the taxation on production
Yes.
because of the number of
Low
low
production,
production,
according to state statute. Okay, Thompson moved, Adam Dross seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0. I have 2 additional miscellaneous motions. Got a motion to appoint Adam Carver as Technology Director at a salary of $85,000 effective July 1, 2026.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Curry moved, Peterson seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0. And have a motion upon the recommendation of the Technology Director to approve the request for authorization to advertise and hire 1 full-time systems administrator for the Technology Department. No new positions being added. This request will only fill an upcoming vacant position within the department due to retirement.
I'll move.
I'll second that.
Thompson moved, Avdross seconded. Any discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0. And we are a few minutes ahead, so we're going to have to, our hearing's at 9:05, so we're going to have to wait just a few minutes.
Yeah, and I think Dominic from Bill Warrenville was going to be here this morning, but I haven't seen him yet.
Okay.
But he knows it's at 9:05.
Okay. Well, hopefully he comes in the next minute or two. Okay, it is 9:05. Have a motion to enter into a public hearing at 9:05 for the purpose of a proposed establishment of a reinvestment housing incentive district within the county, and adopting a plan for the development of housing and public facilities in such district. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, motion, Curry second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes 5-0. It's about anyone with a project, saying something. So I guess the first thing to address in this hearing is, does anyone want to speak on the proposed project?
Like from the
Like
project?
from the project?
So that would be either from.
Okay.
I'm here. Good morning.
Morning.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I'm just here, I guess, to answer any questions that we've got on it. This is our final stage to be able to get started, and we're eager to get some shovels in the ground and get working. So if you have any questions, I'm here to answer anything in regards to the development agreement that I can answer. Otherwise, it's here to also.
There's been some hubbub out there on social media. Can you explain the financial responsibilities to social media and our cameras, what the county's into you guys for?
Donna can help it with that too.
That's fine.
But as far as I understand how I understand it is the only thing that you would be responsible for is reimbursing for tax purposes, right?
Yeah, so Dominic with Gilmore & Bell. So the way the program works, there's no change to what anybody pays in for the real estate taxes, right? There's no increased tax that is levied upon the affected houses. There's no decrease in the taxes levied upon those affected houses. The difference is the tax generated by the additional properties is segregated and then kind of targeted to pay these certain project costs. And the way they're going to pay these project costs in this case is through a reimbursement to the developer. The developer group will initially pay all and upfront the costs to put in all the infrastructure, and then these incremental taxes generated by these new facilities, these new houses, will be segregated and used to go and reimburse that. So as opposed to, if the county wanted to do this on its own initiative, then the county may put up its own funds to put a road in, and then as incremental taxes came in, they would realize a return on that investment. It's kind of the opposite here. The developer is going to put the cost of the roads, et cetera, into the property. The taxes, again, same taxes that everybody else pays from a rate perspective. They're segregated and identified as saying, okay, we'll use these to go reimburse and offset some of those costs that were incurred.
For infrastructure.
For infrastructure.
Anything that's on the land surface and below.
Okay.
How many houses are you gonna start out with? And maybe I've asked you that before, but
No, right now we're planning on doing 4 right as we come into the section. And those would be our pilot houses, and then hopefully we can just keep on
expand
going.
from there.
Yeah.
You got your preliminary plat finished?
No. It's out there waiting on all this to get finalized. One, I didn't want to spend too much money until we knew that all this was done, so.
I understand. I have a couple questions regarding the agreement. Number one, and maybe just a little housekeeping thing. But the very, I don't have it in front of me now, but one of the first pages of the agreement, it says the general location It says that it's northwest of intersection of 75 and Old 50, and shouldn't that be northeast?
Yeah, so.
So, anyway, I thought maybe that needed corrected. Then in section 6.01, the agreement, it's about transfer of obligations. It makes a reference to county administrator. Is that, and I never saw county administrator in the definitions, but we don't have a county administrator.
Right. We'll modify it to come back to the commission.
Okay. Anyway, that's
Yeah.
a few things that popped out at me. I guess everything else looked good.
It was brought to my attention, and I don't want to put Heidi on the spot, but there's similar agreements that included a section where you had to run some things through zoning as far as the build. I forget what exactly that terminology was.
Rezoning and then the subdivision plat would be the two things that were in a similar agreement when we have another company for that type of development.
So that might be something to consider.
The development agreement itself does not change or lessen or reduce any of the normal building process, planning, zoning obligations that are already existing by the county, right? This doesn't exempt, it doesn't provide alternative measures in order to do that. And so all of those typical requirements are still in play for this development, just as they would be any development that is not asked for an RHID agreement. This kind of comes over the top and is specific just for the RHID piece and governs how do I get to be eligible for reimbursement for some of these infrastructure costs. So anything that's already in play or a kind of normal course of business still applies to this development as well.
But shouldn't you guys be going to our zoning board to make requests on this?
Whatever is required.
Heidi, should they come before you guys?
For the RHIDs that you're doing today, this will only affect the tax side of things. They'll still have to come to us after they do this.
After they, okay.
This is just allowing them to have those incentives like he's asking for from you guys. He's still, like you said, obligated to come back and do the rezoning for the properties and take care of the subdivision plat. So,
And that's kind of why I asked if they have the preliminary plat done, because they'll have to submit it to Heidi for planning and zoning, and then that process begins
Sure.
before they do the final plat. So
Just don't want it moving along, dirt broken before it's all approved.
And I think what you guys were saying with the RHID is just kind of the framework for the tax reimbursement on the infrastructure. So if 4 houses get built or 10, it's only a reimbursement pool for those extra taxes generated. So if only 2 houses get built, the county isn't on the hook for any of that extra funds. But if 14 houses get built, then it goes into that fund to reimburse those costs.
Reimbursement is limited to the increment generated. There's no risk to the general fund of the county, right? You're actually prohibited from using your general fund monies to go do that. So they can seek reimbursement only for what they create in terms of extra taxes. And at the end of the 25-year period, if there are still more costs that were unreimbursed, that's the risk that they take when they're undergoing a project.
So basically, the county will not pay any money as far as any incentives. The only thing we'll be doing is as the taxes are collected on the property within that district, then those taxes that are collected will be reimbursed to you, so it does not cost.
That is correct.
Yeah.
They'll be
And only
reused
for the specific cost.
the eligible cost of the project.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
But not beyond the amount of taxes that are collected.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we only build one house and say that you guys collect $5,000 taxes, and we have $500,000 worth of infrastructure costs, all I can get is that 5,000 to help reimburse that.
I think it's the easiest way for these things to be funded to get the stuff necessary, is that it's self-supporting, coming out of the budget and, and then having to be, try to collect later. This basically puts it on your
Yeah,
shoulders.
and it's, as I've said before, it's an incentive that, as a developer, we couldn't do without it, and it just makes it a little bit more easy to.
Because you got your neck on the line.
Yeah.
Look, because you fund everything.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, we really don't even start to see anything for a couple of years down the road, so.
Right.
Does the commission have any other questions for me? Do you have any other comments? Then,
No, my comment would just be this is as a final step in the process to create the district. We have a public hearing, any members of the public are able to provide their comment. Following the conclusion of that hearing, there's a resolution for your consideration. The resolution is approved. That is the last step in the creation of this RHID district. As Mr. Wood said, it actually takes a couple years to get any money flowing into the reimbursement bucket, but it won't take a couple years to get started because that only flows in once there is new development out there. I know he's ready to go. So that is the kind of overview of the project and the process. And if you have any process questions, I'm happy to answer them.
okay, do we have any public comments on this?
Dan Myers, I was just curious, you said 25 years the taxes go back into the fund, does that start now, or does that start when the first house is up, or
Yeah.
how does that work?
Very good question. So the clock starts upon creation of the district, and so the clock will start today.
Do we have any further public comments? All right. Commission has no further questions, then I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing
I'll make that motion.
and reconvene as a Board of County Commissioners. So Steve made that, McCurry made the motion,
Second that.
seconded by Thompson. It'll be at 9:18 is when the time will close. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0. So now we have a motion to approve a resolution. The motion is to approve resolution number 2026-978, a resolution of Coffee County, Kansas establishing a reinvestment housing incentive district within the county, adopting a plan for the development of housing and public facilities in such district, approving a development agreement and making certain findings in conjunction therewith. And in parentheses, 75 and reinvestment housing incentive district.
Lee, did you read over that?
I think it's as he's described. The key things are what he relayed, the 25 years and the reinvestment of the property tax, and that's all the property taxes or just a portion, I guess?
It's all property taxes that are levied against the project. There's a couple, there's a school district levy that is excluded, not the entire school district levy, just a portion of it. And then the state 1.5 mil levy typically would have been excluded, but that's going away anyway, so it kind of takes care of itself.
I will make that motion.
Second it.
Peterson moved, Avondra seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0. Okay. Anything else we have to take any further action on that way, or we done with that yet?
How you can get to work?
Yeah, well, I was gonna ask, so we're gonna make those 2 changes and then we'll get you to sign it, or, so will that be next meeting that we can sign, or when can we actually sign?
We'll get the documents updated and I'll get signature pages taken, and she can just collect the signature pages.
Okay. If you were able to get to us before noon, we could probably sign it yet today, but.
I've got signature pages here, I can use it to update the final document.
Are you okay with that?
I work with.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, can you get a copy of that email to me?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
All
you
right,
for your
well,
interest in our county.
And I'll be back to give you updates as we go, so.
Okay,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
I'll be back up later for the water.
All right,
I'll just do the
move on to our 9:15, it's close to 9:15. Extension Office, 2027 budget requests.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jill Barnhart. I know most of you guys. I'm the Ag and 4-H agent here in Coffee County. I brought with me Cassidy Collins. She's our Family Community Wellness and 4-H agent. And we have 2 board members, Lauren Hall and Amy Ludlam, with us today. Brought our budget request to you guys. You have it in front of you. If you have any questions, we're requesting $293,169. That is up from last year, but we do have the purchase of a new vehicle. We've had one of our vehicles, we're at 10 years on it. We traded the last one at 10 years, which was a couple years ago, and we're asking for an increase there. We're also seeing an increase in insurance. Should be no surprise to any of you guys, and then travel also. So that's where our increases are coming this year. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer any questions for you. On the vehicle, we're willing to put up the other half, so we're only asking for half from the commission.
How often do you purchase a vehicle?
It's been 10 years. The last vehicle we purchased was in '24, and the vehicle replaced was 10 years old, so we went to 10 years on this one.
So how many vehicles do you have?
We have 2.
2?
Under commodities, you have almost double what you had last year.
That's 28,000 of that is for a vehicle.
That's for the vehicle? Okay.
Yeah, and then, probably just a little increase in supplies, but no other major purchases. We purchased a copy machine last year with the assistance of the commission, so we don't have anything else in there to speak of, really.
I didn't know if he's coming out of capital outlay with that one, or if you had some set aside.
We do have capital outlay of 28,000 on our side for, if you see down at the bottom. So it's looking like maybe 60,000 with a trade-in is what we can get into a new vehicle for. So.
Our vehicles continually go up along with insurance.
Yeah, and of course.
But how much insurance is on a year?
And we asked for the quote, but of course we can't purchase anything until January after the funds come in, so it could be different, but I guess that's just how it goes.
Did they offer you any kind of governmental assistance?
A little bit, but not a big,
Not a big slice?
couple thousand. So, not a lot. We did ask about that. We asked about fleet vehicles, stripping it down as much as we could. And again, it's gonna be what it looks like when we get to January.
Yeah.
What we did last time is they actually had a used vehicle on the lot that we got into very reasonably, so we didn't even have to go through the new process. It was a better deal for us, and we've been really happy with it. So, I mean, we're not opposed to doing that if we have to do that. If they've got it, right, yeah. I think it was February before we actually ended up getting that the van that we got, just because we were kind of waiting for the right thing to work financially for us, so. And we're not in trouble, I mean, as far as the vehicle's fine, it's got a recall on it that they can't seem to get covered, but we carry around some fire extinguishers. You know, so we will be able to wait for something right to work for us, so. Any other questions? And give you guys a quick summary update. 4-H, our numbers are good. We are down a little bit from last year, but as many of you know, the demand on kids these days is just increasing. And the 4-H number kind of ebb and flows as kids graduate, families graduate out. We've got 21 Clover Buds. Those are 5 to 7-year-olds that are just waiting to get in line. So that'll bring our number up. Our registered volunteer number has increased this year. We hosted our 5th successful 4-H camp. We're pretty proud of that. Everybody, not a lot of people in the state are doing that individually, but I think that it's been a great success. We did get offered a grant for the 4th year. We have 2 summer interns in the county this summer who are actual Coffee County alumni, 4-H alumni. So a grant of over $13,000 to us to have them in the county providing programs. And those programs are provided to everyone. It is a 4-H grant, but we're partnering with the school and all the local libraries, and then we'll also have some programming that's in our office. But in the past, we've got a lot of kids that weren't involved in 4-H, which we've picked up some of those kids as 4-Hers. On the ag side of things, I continue to see lots of garden issues, plant ID, soil test, insect ID, pesticide things. We did host a statewide meeting here in Burlington, and I collaborated with several meetings in the area, Ottawa, Emporia, things like that. And then I also helped with a statewide meeting, a cow camp meeting in Parsons, and we had people from 5 different states there, so that was a good opportunity to be a part of that. Cassidy, do you want to speak on your behalf about her programming?
Yeah, so on the fact side of things, no 2 days ever look the same, as you guys might imagine. Just as far as walking questions, I always get, especially this time of year, a lot of canner questions, so I can test those for safety. We've actually had a couple this year that have stumped me and our state specialist too. We saw some brands come in that they didn't even recommend support for anymore because they have had some age on them. So those are always fun to help the community identify those solutions and help them keep their food safe for what they're feeding themselves, the families, and community members. I also get a lot of questions related to food safety, and I'm starting to really tap into the child care world of things. We've just recently created a child care coalition in Coffee County that I am part of, along with a lot of the local providers. Jenny Chapman has also been instrumental in getting that going. So that's a front that K-State has encouraged us because child care is such a need to be a part of. So I'm happy to kind of step in and help take care of what I can. I offer CPR training for free for child care providers in our county. That way it's no expense to them, and that expense is actually covered through CACITA, which is Kansas Child Care Training Opportunities, in partnership with K-State. Some other bigger programs that I've had going on. I always partner with Health Department, the Coffee County ECAN. Just recently, this past winter, partnered with LEVO to offer a babysitting clinic as one of their classes in the school. And then I also help support several of the libraries as far as any educational programming that they want to do. All they have to do is reach out to me, and I love working with our libraries and getting out and talking to community members. I most recently offered a babysitting clinic in partnership with the rec center. We had 14 kiddos attend that, which was really good participation there. And then as far as statewide initiatives, I sit on a planning committee for what we call the Living Well Wednesday series. And basically we take our specialties in the facts world. We reach out to specialists, whether that be doctors, nurses, people in education, research. We have them come on and do statewide Zooms that anybody can hop on and attend. They're recorded and posted on our website. That way we can try to spread our education out to those that may not be able to come to, the traditional in-person meetings anymore. So that's a statewide thing I've been part of for several years now, and all those past recordings are still on the website. They can be viewed at any time, so I encourage you guys to check it out if you get a minute.
Any questions for us? Mike, you look like you're reading something. You got a question?
Under your economic development board here,
Yep.
You still have that individual on it that's no longer resident?
No, that's our annual report from the end of last year. So we haven't done our new annual report. He's no longer on it. Correct. So. Any other questions? Okay, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, thanks for coming in.
Have a good day.
You too.
Oh.
Good kid.
We may call him that.
Do you have 2 copies? Okay.
That's gonna shake
Yeah, he was one of the ones involved.
He did a good job, wasn't
Okay, next segment of our agenda. We have 4 individuals we're going to interview for 2 different boards. We're going to interview for the airport board, and then we have 1 position on the planning board, but we have 3 applicants. We only have 2 interviews planned for today, but just everybody needs to sign.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the resolution?
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully I didn't step to it. Yeah. Hopefully I didn't step to something.
Oh, that's a resolution.
Signature page.
Yeah, signature page. Just sign. You're good.
Trust me.
Trust me.
Too much paper. Too little brain.
Isn't that what you say? Trust me?
Carrie Williams first.
I'll get her on the phone and then I'm gonna make a
Okay, our first interview is going to be with Carrie Williams, airport board. Okay, yeah.
You want me to call her?
Yes, if you would, please.
Hi Carrie, this is Angie Kirchner calling from the commission room. The board's gonna speak with you about your interest in the planning board.
No, the airport board.
Oh, I'm sorry, airport board. Carrie?
Oh, yes.
Oh no, I disconnected her.
Hopefully she won't.
That would have been called.
She may reconsider now.
I have planning board on here. No. Yeah.
Hi, this is Carrie.
Hi Carrie, this is Angie Kirchner again. Can you hear me?
I can. I apologize. I think we were in a bad spot right then, I think. So
Yeah, and I
hopefully
think
this will be all right.
Yeah, okay. So, the board's gonna visit with you now on your interest in the airport board.
Okay, sure. You bet.
All right. Hello, Carrie. Hey, this
Hi there.
This is Mark Peterson, the chairman. We got you on the speakerphone, and all 5 commissioners are here. Can you hear us okay?
I sure can.
Okay. I guess the first question, why are you interested in serving on this board, and what do you believe the board's role is?
Oh, sure. So my husband and I just moved back, about 3 years ago to Leroy. We've been, he's originally from Leroy, so we've just moved back. So, definitely just an interest in getting involved in the community. And the airport board itself, my husband had received his pilot certificate in 2015, and so slowly I've been getting a little bit more exposure to, I guess, aviation and things. And so when we moved back, found out that there was an opportunity at Cobb County Airport to, with the CFI and to learn to fly, and it was something that I was interested in. So I just recently got my pilot certificate just here about a month ago, and so just in working with the airport and just, with the staff there and everybody, have really, really enjoyed it. And so that's, I guess, where my interest lies. I think it's a really great thing to have in a community and to be able to offer, so.
Okay. So what experiences or perspectives would you bring that would strengthen the board?
I think just having recently participated in, I guess, learning to fly and the experience with just that airport. We also had our son, when we moved from Concordia, Kansas. And so when we were there, we were involved a little bit in the airport there. Our son had received one of the scholarships that they offered, and so he too got his pilot certificate. So I think just having been around some of those things and the openness, I guess, to look at how you can encourage, I guess, more knowledge of aviation. That's probably been the one thing I've really appreciated about an aviation community is just encouraging other people to be involved or learn more. And so I'm passionate about that and really appreciate that. So I think that's what I bring.
All right. What do you see as the biggest challenge facing the airport board over the next 3 to 5 years?
That's a really good question. I honestly don't know that I could answer that specifically. I would think with anything, just financially, keeping things solvent, active, and I guess being responsible on funds and things that would always be anything a big item. But I don't know if I have anything else specifically. No doubt, I have to admit that I learned quite a bit, as in my involvement too. So.
All right. Can you commit to regularly attending meetings, reviewing materials beforehand, and participating actively?
You bet. I sure can.
Okay. What question have we not asked that you think commissioners should consider before making this appointment?
I'm not sure, as far as not having asked, but yeah, I always think, just your activeness in a community, and I never view things as a standalone. When you've got various boards in a community and everything else, I think a lot of things get interlocked, and so I guess that would be, the hope too, that you have involvement that crosses over, I guess, with other portions of the community too, and involvement and just knowledge of what each other are doing. So, but yeah, I don't know if I'd have anything else to say that you haven't asked.
Do any of the other commissioners, do you have any specific questions?
Covered pretty well.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your interest in applying, and we will hopefully make a decision later in the meeting. So.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you. You do the same. Thank you.
Bye. One down.
Is she the only one we have?
No,
For the airport?
we have another one, Alex.
Welcome.
And there are 2 positions open, so
There's 2 spots in there?
2 spots. And we get 2 applicants.
So you need to get,
We are ready for Alan Holmes.
and that's gonna be by phone, you have a number? Oh, it's on there, it's on there.
And this is planning board.
Okay.
Please dial 1.
All right,
5 minutes.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
That doesn't sound like that.
Hi, Alan, this is Angie Butcher, Coffee County Clerk calling. The board would like to interview you for the planning and zoning board. So we will move on to our next candidate. Thank you. All right, now who?
Yeah, everybody's by phone. Dustin, here's,
For all? Okay. Just call in to, maybe he's in a bad area. Hey, Dustin, this is Angie Butcher, Coffee County Clerk calling. The board is ready to interview you for your interest in the planning board, okay?
Okay, good morning.
Here they are.
all right. Good morning, Dustin. This is Mark.
Hi, good morning.
This is Mark Peterson. We do have you on speakerphone, and all 5 commissioners are here. That's Steve McCurry, Mike Abendroth, Wade Thompson, and Todd Barker. Let's start off with, why are you interested in serving on the planning board, and what do you believe is the board's role?
So I had interviewed or been there one other time, if you guys remember, and really kind of the same deal. I'm curious on basically local government and how we make decisions for the community. So I've been curious on that for quite a while. And then I guess there's a lot of talk about the community needing to grow, whether that's industry or whatnot, but it just seems like our population's declining and having jobs and stuff for people. And I think that working with the zoning board, you might make some decisions that could impact that. I would just want to be able to help contribute to making those decisions that are what's best for the community long term, not necessarily what looks good right this second. So I don't know a whole lot about the job, but I'm assuming that you'd be making decisions that could impact, I guess, the growth of the county.
Okay, and kind of along that line, what experiences or perspectives would you bring that would strengthen the board?
So I don't have any experience serving on a board like this. I don't have much, if any, experience on really knowing how we make these decisions for what's best for the community. But working, I guess, being from the community my whole life, and working with a lot of people in the community. I sell agriculture inputs, so I'm around mainly farmers, but quite a few people in the community. I think that I have good judgment, I guess, on what's best for the community, and I have no problem talking to people and getting opinions from a lot of people, since that's pretty much what I do all day is just talk to people.
So I feel like I would have maybe that unique, opportunity, I guess, maybe, going for me to discuss things with people and just kind of see what's best for the community.
Okay, what do you see as the biggest challenge facing the planning board over the next 3 to 5 years?
If you are making decisions on, kind of maybe what industries are coming to the county or how we grow the county, properly, I think that right now with, in the past few years, we've lost some jobs in the county, through Wolf Creek and just how do we, grow the county for, maybe even my kids or, the community's kids to maybe be able to stick around someday. I think that's just a really difficult decision. There can be a lot of outside influence on what's best for the community too, and I think it's just gonna be, some important decisions if we do have somebody wanting to move some industry in or something and making sure that we're growing, again, the correct way, what's best for everybody in the future.
All right, now, board members often make decisions that not everyone agrees with. How do you approach difficult or unpopular decisions?
I think a lot of things in life, you just have to make the decision that you feel is right and move on and not let people sway you in one way or the other. So I think whatever conclusion, you come to, you make the decision and I don't know that it'd be deal with consequences, but there's always going to be unhappy people. And so you gotta stick to what you think is right.
All right, can you commit to regularly attending meetings, reviewing materials beforehand, and participating actively?
Yeah, and I mean, I would have a question on, obviously, since I have no experience with this, I would kind of like to know maybe hours involved and stuff. Obviously, there's one meeting is it a month?
They do usually meet at least once a month. Every once in a while, there could be some special meetings, and their meetings are usually in the evenings. Do that.
Yeah, and evenings work well. I think what I saw was 7 o'clock. So yeah, I could for sure commit to that.
All right. Other commissioners, do you have any specific questions or?
Steve, this is Steve McCrary, Commissioner. I see you're in agronomy sales, so you deal with all types of people and all that types of problems, I assume. I mean, you deal with a little bit of everybody.
Yes, I deal with, obviously the end user, the farmers that I sell to, and I deal with large corporations that, many times I don't agree with how business may be done, but yeah, I deal with a lot of different people.
Okay. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, well, we certainly appreciate your interest in reapplying for this position, so we will be making a decision. I'm not sure if we're even going to make it today. It could possibly be next week, but again, we appreciate your interest in the position. All right.
Okay, thank you guys for the call and your time this morning.
All right, you have a great day.
Yep, you too.
Okay, so I have this Alan cell number.
Uh-huh.
So do you want me to go ahead and call him?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Stick with kind of this question.
So that is.
Yeah, for each position.
Yeah,
I agree.
everything good.
Hello?
Hi, Alan, this is Angie Kirchner, Coffee County Clerk calling.
Yes.
Hi, the commission's ready to visit with you about your interest in the planning board.
Sounds good.
Here they are.
All right. Good morning, Alan.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, this is Mark Peterson, Chairman. We also have we got you on speakerphone, have all 5 commissioners here. We've got Steve McCurry, Mike Avendroth, Wade Thompson, and Todd Barker. Can you guys hear okay? Down there? Okay. I want to start off by, why are you interested in serving on the planning board, and what do you believe the board's role is?
Well, it's kind of like when I interviewed the last time, things haven't changed much. I mean, you know, I've got experience in the utility, part of it as far as 30 years. I worked for a utility company. I still have contacts with electric and gas. I'm interested in Coffee County and just, it'd be nice if we could get some things going, maybe kind of help on our tax, kind of maybe lower my taxes on my property, to get some stuff developed.
Okay. What experiences or perspectives would you bring that would strengthen the board?
Well, again, I hate to keep repeating, but, just my years of the utility end of the business and kind of knowing the area and most of that, I've got an open mind. I've been, I can work with people. I think just my input might help, just over experience.
Okay. What do you see as the biggest challenge facing the planning board over the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, from what I've read or kind of what's been going on, I'm going to say just trying to develop, getting jobs in the Coffee County, as far as the wind farms and the different things that have been going on. I think there's a lot of things that, obviously that are out there that, you might be able to help open a door on or kind of bring, a different look, as an opinion to what might help get things going in the right direction.
Okay. Board members often make decisions that not everyone agrees with. How do you approach difficult or unpopular decisions?
Well, everybody's got an opinion. You just got to listen, and I think maybe that's probably been my experience. Sometimes if people aren't informed, the right way or you got to listen to everything that there is out there and then make a decision like that.
Okay. Can you commit to regularly attending meetings, reviewing materials beforehand, and participating actively?
Yes, I'm retired. I do have a little business but it's, I can get away when I need to.
All right. What does transparency mean to you in public service?
Well, just be upfront. Transparency is probably the best policy a person can have as far as, again, you go back to information and you go to the coffee shop and, people get to gossiping and then you get rumors flying everywhere. So, if you're transparent with what you've got going on, people have a better understanding, of what you're trying to do, and I think that's important.
All right. Other commissioners, do you have any questions, specific questions? What question have we not asked that you think commissioners should consider before making an appointment?
As far as planning board or?
For the planning board, yes.
That's a pretty open question. Communication to me would be the biggest thing, I think, as far as, if there's something out there, again, back to being misinformed or not having the right information, and I think that follows suit with the commission, you guys, if you're looking at something specific And, if the information that, if you're coming, the planning board's bringing you something, if it's not the right information, that's not gonna help you out.
Right, anything else you'd like to add?
I probably have several things, but as far as just, I think that I can bring an open mind and, bring some experience from my past history and like I said, until I sit down with people and you actually get involved, it's pretty hard to say, what the outcome will be. I'll just give it my best shot.
Okay. All right, well, we thank you for your interest in the position, and we may not make a decision today as far as the board member, it may be next week, but again, we appreciate your interest, so.
You bet. Will Angie contact me, or how, will you send me a letter, or what you got going?
Yeah, if he is appointed, we send a letter out.
Yeah, if you're appointed, we'll send a letter out, I guess.
Okay.
I'd reach out too.
And we can,
And I think Heidi reaches out also, so.
Perfect. I appreciate you guys' time.
All right, thank you very much, and have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
okay, we just have.
Alex?
Okay. You ready?
Yes.
Hello, this is Alex.
Hi, Alex, this is Angie Kirchner, Coffee County Clerk calling. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. So we have the commission here who's going to visit with you about your interest in the airport board, correct?
Okay.
Yes.
Here they are.
All right, good morning, Alex. Hey,
Good morning.
this is Mark Peterson, I'm chairman of the commission. We have a full, have you on speakerphone, have a full commission here, which includes Steve McCurry, Mike Abendroth, Wade Thompson, and Todd Harper. Let's start off, probably spend about 5 minutes asking some questions here, but why are you interested in serving on the airport board, and what do you believe the board's role is?
So I'm interested in serving on the airport board because I think that it's a good opportunity to get involved with the county. Everyone in that room right now cares about the county and growing the county responsibly, and we want to see, the county be successful, and part of that is maintaining a good airport, and I have a passion for aviation, and I do help manage a lot of projects at a law firm that I work at, so I think that I would be good to help manage and oversight and be a part of the airport board. I think part of what the board does is probably help make decisions financially regarding repairs that need to be done, or fundraising, getting grants for the airport, and things like that.
Okay, I think you partially answered this, but what experiences or perspectives would you bring that would strengthen the board?
So I've had the opportunity to live in a lot of different places, and I've worked in dental for 5 years, I worked in healthcare and surgery for 5 years as well, and I now am a project manager, and I think that and I'm a realtor also, I've been a realtor for over a year, so I have kind of a little bit of a diverse portfolio that I've worked on, and I think that I would be able to help benefit the board with managing ongoing projects there.
Okay. what do you see as the biggest challenge facing the airport board over the next 3 to 5 years?
I think just how the airport will grow. So as the county continues to grow responsibly, how do we grow the airport, and how do we maintain the financial resources to grow it as well? I think that's probably the biggest question.
Okay. Often board members make decisions that not everyone agrees with. How do you approach difficult or unpopular decisions?
I think you have to approach them with a positive attitude, and, it's got to be a team effort. So if someone doesn't like your decision, maybe your decision was wrong. Maybe the decision that was made was what was best for the airport. It's not about personal interest. It's about what's best for the airport.
Okay. Can you commit to regularly attending meetings, reviewing materials beforehand, and participating actively?
Yes, I can.
Okay. And commissioners, do you have any other questions to ask? We'll ask you one more question, I guess. What question have we not asked that you think commissioners should consider before making an appointment?
I think you guys have asked most of the questions. I think it's just important to make sure that, we're looking at people that we think are qualified and will want to give back to the community and help it grow and succeed. Coffee County is a beautiful place to live, and it's all of our responsibility to take care of it and maintain that.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
I would not. I just appreciate your guys' time, and I look forward to hopefully serving on the board.
Okay, we appreciate your interest in the position, and hopefully we'll make an appointment later on in the meeting. Anyway, again, appreciate your interest, and have a great day.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're not too far behind now.
So the only one we've got left is,
Well, we have one more planning board that is not, well, we have two more. We have one more planning board member to interview, but we never got them on the agenda.
Yeah, that came in last night.
oh, okay.
I don't know if you want me to try to call her or reach out to her to see if she's available, or.
I mean, we can do that later in the meeting. I mean,
Okay.
if she is available, if you're okay, or we can schedule it next week. We have a hospital board member that was originally scheduled for today, but they had a funeral came up, so we're gonna move that interview to next week.
We could set this one up for next week, or if we can do it today, that's fine, or we can set it up for
I'd
next week.
suggest getting the one for the zoning board done today, and let's get an appointment made. We've got a meeting. Okay.
Is she a planning board?
Yeah, she applied for planning board.
Okay, so I'll call her on break and see.
Yeah, so you can tell her roughly, well, it'd be later in the meeting, but,
Okay.
probably 10:45 to 11 o'clock, probably, roughly.
Okay.
Would everyone like to take a 5-minute break? We'll take a 5-minute break and return at 10:10 and then we'll take up the emergency management.
No, we bought a swimming pool, 54 inch tall, 27, and they were out there struggling with it.
It's 10:10, we're back in regular session. Next item on the agenda is Emergency Management Director Amber Presley. Request for bids. You probably have some kind of an update also, right?
I can, what I know, which isn't much. Okay, last month I came to you guys about replacing the backup power system for the EOC, the radio system, and for Brad's network, which runs the entire county. And I had a couple of bids, but we decided that it needed to go out, be published, and bid. And I came up with the bid sheet, I came up with a motion, I had Wade look it over, and got it all ready to go for your approval. And I guess the only deciding factor would be when Mark can get it in the paper.
Whenever you want, you can start this week.
This week?
Yes. You do it.
You don't even know how long it is though. I think it is one, just typed out with, regular form. It's only 1 3/4. So squished down and made good, it shouldn't be too bad. Okay. So I left all the dates off of this motion, and I left the dates off of the bid that goes in the paper. Actually, this is the full bid packet, so that won't go in the paper, it'll just be the invitation to bid, so it's a little bit shorter.
Just email the file with the correct dates and whatever, and
Right.
it should be no problem. So, does anybody want to see what she has, or?
I mean, I have the bid, I sent it to Angie, do we need to make copies of the actual bid?
For them to look at?
Yeah.
You guys wanna look at that?
I'd like to see it.
Okay. I'll make copies for you.
The
The actual bid.
For the bid package, probably.
Yeah, the bid packet.
Look. I have to go down and get it. Looks like I printed off the invitation to bid twice. Submissions. Yeah, I printed it off twice. Let me run down and get it?
Sure.
Okay.
I
Sorry.
wanna do what? I don't need. That's what you. Oh, she's I don't know, she didn't call. She's already had some nice people, 22, so I think he's on 540,000 this year. She just dumped it on me. That was last year's. Over double.
Sure, there's a reason that it's out of town, got back, a pretty big reason.
But if you look up here, his commodities went down 138,000.
Yeah.
Was it closed last week? Hmm? Was it closed last week, because they got enough candy or something? That's huge. Yeah, you went down, $38,000. Sure, this went up a little bit, personal services.
Yeah, it's not on here, is it? This is up to the town.
And it may have to be another week or six, we just started.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Okay. And I've tried it out.
Yeah.
We can get that.
Well,
Commodities in here yet.
what's, there's 254, there's 16, these are wrong. That is not total that.
Yeah.
But the sign all these. Yeah, they're missing that. And even right there, 400, 510,000, that number's wrong.
Yeah, they're gonna add up.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I took your advice about going with the system that we actually want, and that's what we put down.
That's what that adds up to.
What was it, 541, 292? These are the ones we kind of talked about a month, 2 months ago.
Exactly.
And you're just wanting to go out for bids for them?
Yes.
So what's the estimated life expectancy? I mean, I see there's a 10-year minimum warranty. Is that?
It should last. The ones that we have now, how many years is that one been down there? 15 years or so? Yeah, I believe it's the lead acid battery ones that we have downstairs now are pretty old, and they've been 15 years with no problems. So something with, lithium should last even longer than that.
Reading over all of this, and will this be simply turnkey?
Yes.
Looks like all installation and everything
Yep.
appears to be
Yep.
included, and you got a schedule.
And they were very adamant that we really probably didn't even need, the warranty, but I want that included in it. Like you said. The first company I talked to about this kind of system.
Say that again, Amber.
They did not give us a warranty the first time around because they said that they don't usually give those, because they don't need them. But I wanted that included in there. There's no my luck, we get the one.
If they don't put one in, you got 10 on here, can you extend it to 20? Or did they suggest 10?
They suggested 10.
Okay.
10 was a suggestion, and that's what I found online too with 10, so.
Might get pretty expensive, maybe if we stretched it out any longer.
Maybe. Well, and I don't know if I don't even know if they'll go that long, they might not.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Well, they were saying they didn't need it, so,
Yeah.
okay. Like it right in
Right. Proof it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, that's.
You don't need this so you can buy new ones again in 3 years.
Right.
There you go.
Right. And, Wade already looked through this and he gave his okay on it, so.
Ready to move forward with the motion. have a motion based upon the recommendation of the Emergency Management Director and as approved to form by the county attorney. Approve the request for authorization to solicit sealed bids for the three-phase lithium battery backup power system. Bids will be reviewed by the director, who will make a recommendation to the commission.
I'll make that motion.
Curry moved,
I'll second it.
Tom seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0.
So, if this runs this week, that'll be this week, the week of the 22nd, and the week of the 29th. And bids would normally be due on Friday at by 5 p.m., but we have a holiday that day. So should I extend that to Monday, maybe?
Yeah, you can do.
Okay. Let's do, I'll put the bid deadline for this July 6th.
Monday?
Yes, by 5 p.m. And I have...
You say July 6th.
Yes. And I have an abbreviated, invitation to bid. It's not that full, what you have in front of you, but it's abbreviated and it tells them where they can get the full bid packet on our website, in the clerk's office or in my office, and that's what I'll give to Mark.
Yeah, we don't wanna print any more than we have to.
And just email that to me.
Okay. So I will come back once the bid's closed. We'll go through them, and I will get with Adam because we wanted to do this before Brad left, but we're not gonna make it. So I will get with Adam because the technology office is paying for half of this since it's running the county network.
Okay.
And get with him and get with the electricians and everybody and pick the bid, and I'll come back. Okay, so update on this weekend. I don't have a lot of answers for you. All I know is this was a really good lesson in being prepared. A really good lesson in what could happen that you have no idea how you're going to manage if you lose power for an extended period of time. We are just extremely lucky that the temperatures were good. Otherwise, we would have probably had to start opening shelters. There were a few things that we had to kind of work out between us, the sheriff, the city, and Amelia with her vaccines, because while her vaccine storage is on the generator, on my generator down in the basement, her alarming system that tells her if they have power or if something's wrong is not on the generator. So they had to check their vaccines regularly this weekend, manually, and so we went and talked to her, and we are going to get not only her alarming system, but we're also going to get her two backup systems where she can pull everything out of the fridge and freezers and put them in these little cases that it's her backup. We're going to get those on the generator also. For this weekend, they actually moved stuff over to the sheriff's department, which was good, but we can have it set up with the electrician so that she can keep everything she needs downstairs where it needs to be, and will alarm and let her know. So that was one thing that we came up with this weekend that we didn't know we had problems. So our generator ran all weekend for the basement. It ran 17 and a half hours, no problems. It used 38 gallons of gas the whole time. So we didn't have any issues. I talked to Tom. And he had a few issues, but nothing too bad. Everybody stayed up. Network stayed. Everything was pretty good. I had issues at home. I have a Verizon phone that's not working. The AT&T phone that I was using as a hotspot because I had no internet, it died. My laptop died. It was quite a... I almost came and moved into the courthouse. That was my next step, was camping out in the basement, which sometimes it has to happen. The only thing that I see that went wrong this weekend is I don't feel like there was enough communication. I was putting out as much information as I could, and I got a lot of questions and a lot of things I couldn't answer, and so I ended up having to kind of stop answering because there were so many questions about why and what, and I don't have those answers.
Communication between you and who? You didn't have
The city and the public. They finally reached out and had me put out some Everbridge messages telling people, but really, I think those should have probably went out sooner. Like, as soon as the power was down and they knew there was an issue, something probably should have went out right then.
Who is they?
The city. I can't put anything out.
The city asked you to put it out?
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't the city put it out?
Because it's my system. They don't
Okay.
they don't have access to it.
Okay.
You have to be licensed.
Oh, I got you, yeah, under your.
Yeah, under my, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so
Thank you.
any city can holler at me and I'll put it out for them, but they can't just put it out on their own. So it goes to subscribers that specifically ask for Burlington updates, so. But I kind of knew what was happening because, you know, I've talked to people and I have city people's phone numbers, but the rest of the public didn't know what was happening and didn't know what was happening all night. So I don't know if it should have been my responsibility to reach out or if it should have been the city's responsibility to reach out to the public. I really don't know where that lies. You ended up talking to the mayor finally yesterday, right?
Yeah, I think the city should have reached out.
I agree.
They don't have a website?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah.
And a
They
Facebook
couldn't-
page, yeah,
You can't put
everything.
anything on there?
You didn't?
They eventually did.
Yeah.
I'm starting to understand some of the comments that I saw on Facebook.
Yeah. I mean, there was nothing the whole first night from the city, really. I can go back to the messages, but I mean, there was very little information. I think it would have squelched some of the concerns and the anger and confusion had something just went out. If we had something like this happen, I have PIOs trained, and they know the way to cut off panic and the way to help residents is to get as much information out as soon as possible. That's what we do with Wolf Creek. We would never wait and just let people start guessing as to what's happening. So, I think some more communication would have been nice. But other than that, everything on our end ran smoothly. We discussed yesterday the power was not back on, and we all got together and started talking about what happens if the power is not back Monday. And we would have had some issues with all your public hearings, with the offices upstairs, because nobody can really work without power. So that is something that we might need to look at in the future, is if there's no city power, the only place in this courthouse that runs is the basement. That's it. So whether we want to look at getting a bigger generator for the courthouse that runs everything, or a separate generator that runs the top floors, I don't know what that looks like.
The generator right now that you've got just runs the bottom side, right?
Yeah, it runs the EOC, it runs what is old dispatch, which is now our conference room, it runs my office and the radio room, and it doesn't run your stuff now, you have your own backup.
It does.
It does run it now, okay, sorry, had to refer to that.
And the sheriff's department is on a separate.
They're on a separate generator, and theirs seemed to work okay this weekend, I think.
Is there any way to tie the two together to run this floor? Without buying a whole new generator?
Mine won't do it, I don't believe. His might. We can check on that.
I think it'd be a lot cheaper than that.
Yeah. I'll have to check and see how much
Then,
capacity his is.
one other question, have you reached out to the city with concerns with
whoever'd be your equal there about communications that?
Not yet.
Are you going to do that?
Not yet. I wanted to see how you guys felt, if Mark felt he got enough answers from the city, or did you relay any concerns that all of us had about the communication, or how did that go?
I just, when I finally did, I talked to the mayor, I mean, it was just finding out where we were on the electric, and it sounded like they had everything pretty much under control by that point. Except that was quite a few hours probably before something should have been said, anyway, they were confident that at least there'd be generator power, and obviously by the evening they were able to stop generator power and went back on the grid.
I can still reach out to them and talk to them, because I knew what was going on, and I know when the power goes out, they're working on it. There's nothing we can do about it.
They're not dragging their feet.
No, they're not.
They're getting after
I
it.
drove by at midnight and saw them out there working. There was flashlights, they were running around. The generator was running, I could hear it, but I knew they were having problems. So, that's me though. I can be a little patient. Some other people were having issues. They have medical reasons, they have special needs, they have other things that they were pretty concerned, and they weren't getting answers from anybody, and I just feel like it was kind of a problem. So yeah, I can reach out to them and kind of discuss what I feel would be an issue. Having been in public information for 23 years, I know what to do and what not to do, and that kind of was what not to do. Don't leave people hanging, because they'll hang you.
You said special needs, you've got a list of those, do you not in your office?
I have a list of those for an evacuation.
Oh, okay.
But and it does list people that are on self-sustaining systems.
Right.
If we had gone any longer, us and the sheriff's department might have had to reach out to those individuals and see, do you need assistance, but I did put out that if anybody needs any kind of medical issues, go to the hospital, because they have a backup generator and they can plug in your oxygen, they can do all the things. So we did put that out there. Hopefully people have their backup, but we're going to start, putting out information about what you should be doing to prepare for something like what just happened. So I need to have more power banks. That's what I need. I did kind of look into, because we have got a few reports of people that had household appliances get ruined because of the power coming on, power going off, flipping, going back and forth. And as far as I can tell, if there's a power surge that damages your appliances, it is your homeowner's or renter's insurance that covers it, unless there's proof of gross negligence by the utility provider. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know about gross negligence. I don't feel like this was a gross negligence situation, but if individuals feel like that, they can file their own claims and suits. That's not me. That's not us. We don't have anything.
I think we need to stay out of that,
Yeah.
on the power
I
side.
am-
Don't give any information to them,
I'm
or
not.
contact
Yeah.
the power company.
Sounded like to me, everybody did everything they could to
Oh,
get
yeah.
the power back on as soon as they could. Maybe they should have communicated a little better.
Yeah.
That's the gist I've got out of the whole thing.
That's how I feel about it too. Yeah. So are there any more questions on anything that we did or didn't do this weekend?
I don't think so. Appreciate that update.
No problem. Thank you for approving the bid. Do you need me to fill in all those dates and everything and send it back to you?
Yeah.
Okay, I will do that. We will do that. Okay. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Let me-
Technology Director Brad Scheidmeier. You want to discuss purchasing policy?
Purchasing, yes.
Okay.
We obviously have an antivirus system for everybody here. And a few years ago, it was purchased by somebody, and it's been purchased by somebody, and we're just not getting the service out of them we feel we need to. So we've done some evaluations on some different antiviruses for us.
And I've come back with one that worked well and we liked, and I'll do 3 different things for us. First off is I'll replace our old antivirus, which was around, I guess I didn't see that one. It was around $5,600. It will replace what we call Spam Titan, which monitors our email and takes spam away, so it's not forwarding it to us, which is over $7,000. So it's replacing those 2 things, which is around $10,000, $11,000, and it will also monitor our firewall to see if anything weird, if they see anything weird, they can contact us and shut it down. So it's doing 3 things for us, and the cost is $17,755, or $14,755, and that's over what I can purchase. And so I'd like to, it's replacing 10,000, adding something, so it's kind of a wash work.
It's like an annual renewal.
It's an annual renewal, and I need to get approval for, upon the recommendation of Brad Scheimer, IT Director, to waive purchasing policy for competitive bidding for a good cause. Cause being that the vendor is a single source supplier. And approve the purchase of Signet all-in-one endpoint security and Signet SEIM from dates of July 1, 26 to June 30th of 27 from Eagle Technologies out of Salina, Kansas, for the total of $14,755. And the funding will come from 26 County General Fund Technology Training and Equipment. That'll work for you.
So when you call this a single source supplier, the people that we have now don't offer these services?
That company is, the company we have now, you can get antivirus from anywhere. I don't know, that's what my question is. Would this be a single source, or?
So you feel they're far superior?
This is a far superior product than what I'm getting currently.
You've taken some of these that are out there for a test drive?
Yes, we've tried a couple different ones. We looked at the one the state offers, and I feel this one's better. It does a lot more for us, and we've got to stay ahead of the bad operators out there.
But one of the things that, and you know more about this than I do, I just know because it's impacted the judicial branch. Ransomware and attacks have occurred. 2.5 years ago it happened, maybe 3 years.
It happened to the state, and it's currently happened to other counties.
And we've been fortunate to have Brad be able to keep us secure. So
It's unfortunate. It's just I try my best, but
it will cripple everything here if you don't have the right program in place to thwart any attacks. I mean, it's devastating.
And this one does use an AI to combat AI. And so, hopefully this, I feel this is the best one I've found right now. And it is rated, if you go online and look, it is rated one of the highest ones. The one the state of Kansas was rated pretty comfortable, but it was a little more expensive than this one.
If you had to go out for bids, do you have any idea what you'd get?
This Eagle we're purchasing it from is someone we purchase stuff from regularly. They do our VMware and stuff like that, and I contacted them and they said it was the best they had and the best they could do for us. I don't know who I would get if I said I want, I was talking to Signet, and their reseller in this area is this Eagle Technology out of Salina. So I contacted their reseller in this area. So that's why I'm saying they're a single source for us, for the state of Kansas in this area, is the reseller.
A trusted source.
A trusted source, yes. So, I don't know how to go about purchasing that from them.
So is that wording fine then?
It's
You're combining,
buying 3 items that separately are less than my $10,000.
virus, spam,
And firewall.
and the firewall.
Yeah.
So separately, they're individually.
Individually, the firewall one I've never had before. This is an additional thing I think will help us in the long run.
Okay. I would entertain a motion upon the recommendation of IT Director Brad Scheidmeyer to waive purchasing policy as to competitive bidding for good cause. Said cause being the vendor is a single source supplier contract, and to approve the purchase of SINET all-in-one endpoint security and SINET SIEM from dates of July 1, 2026 to June 30th, 2027. From Eagle Technologies of Salina, Kansas, in the total amount of $14,755. Funding for the purchase will come from the 2026 General Fund Technology Training and Equipment line item.
So moved.
I'll second. Barker moved, Peterson second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, so the firewall isn't added, I mean,
It's
that's,
added.
that's something that you haven't had before.
Well, we've had the firewall. This is just monitoring it
Okay,
from an AI standpoint.
okay, all right. I don't
It'd be a backup for the
Kind of
backup.
a backup, yeah.
As long as it works.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Anybody opposed?
Yeah.
Passes 5-0.
All right. Thank you, guys.
No, thank you.
Thank you, Brett. Next on the agenda, we have Public Wholesale Water Supply District number 12, letter of support for water treatment plant project.
So, following the presentation last week by Ben Coltrane, you guys had asked us to put together a draft of a letter of support from the commissioners to Public Wholesale District number 12. So I sent you guys, or I sent Angie, I believe you guys should have got a draft letter. So I was just bringing that to you guys to see if you had any edits, additions, or if you guys wanted to go ahead and sign. The letter is pretty broad. There wasn't a lot of specific, I know we're still working on, what do you call it, like estimates and different things like that for costs, but really the intent of the letter was to state that that Coffee County and the commissioners are supportive of the project, and I think the last paragraph there is language you would like to potentially have a have a meeting with Public Wholesale number 12 leadership to discuss a collaborative plan and discuss like a timeline for the improvement. So I didn't know if you guys had any edits you wanted me to make to that or any thoughts on the letter.
Good.
It's refreshing my memory.
Yeah, it's okay.
Haven't read it since Friday.
Essentially, it was discussing the need for the project. I did put a little paragraph, a little language about the future, development possibilities. That's kind of from my perspective with economic development, adding in the two kind of focus areas that we talked about last week. One would be securing additional water through a water marketing contract, so that would need to be discussed, and then the design and permitting of a 3 MGD water treatment plant. Just the cost and kind of what the county support would look like on that.
You think, we show our support this way, that there'd be a chance that other counties might also?
Yes, I know, Osage County is still working on that. I discussed last week with, their economic development director. We're still looking at a possible, grant opportunity that, either Osage County or Public Wholesale 12, with support of Osage County, may be eligible for, due to some, I don't know, they call it a disaster recovery economic development grant, that we may not qualify for, that Osage would. So we're looking into that and what that would look like. We're going to be meeting again this month. We also met last week to discuss again a regional meeting, talking with Kansas Infrastructure Hub about, they would facilitate a meeting with Coffee, Anderson, Franklin, Osage leadership, Public Wholesale 12, to kind of figure out, like you said, what do the different pieces look like, and how do we get this realistically to happen.
Carl, have you read this letter?
Yes, I have. I had 2 changes. And,
but they were incorporated in the.
yeah, they was already incorporated.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I read it.
Yeah, I had Carl look at it. I sent it by Wade, and there was a couple words that he had suggested changing that I changed in from the initial draft.
Okay.
I said, in this one, we're not stating that that the county's gonna put any specific dollar amount right now, because we still don't know estimates or what that looks like, but at least saying that we want to have that conversation. And then the intent would be, I believe Carl offered to take the letter to
Yeah, I'll go
the
appoint
meeting this
tonight
week.
to their meeting and present them with the letter and let them have it.
Great, great.
And then and try to answer questions along the way. Because I'm sure that with all 12 entities there, like Public 12, there'll be some questions to be answered.
Yeah.
Just better than getting it in the mail too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was gonna do that.
Here, we're ready.
I would go, unfortunately, I will be out of office Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week for pre-planned family travel. So Carl offered to do that, and then if we need to, go back, I'll be back in next Monday, so.
Okay.
And Carl, that's at their meeting, is that correct?
Yeah, that'll be their meeting.
So if they have questions, or if there's questions, you'll be able to.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I'll go over stuff, if I got any questions from Ben, that way we can talk over both sides of them. But it shows great leadership on our part to the region of what we're trying to do for everybody.
Okay, any other questions? So I guess, we would, I was gonna say we probably need a motion to sign.
It'd be better to put it,
Yeah.
have a motion.
For the record.
Well, I'll wait for Angie to get back.
Okay.
Just trying to arrange that, planning board, planning applicant interview at last month.
And I had a copy of the letter printed. I did notice I had right here, I put an extra letter A, and that, I don't know if you want me to go downstairs real quick and reprint without the letter A on it for you guys to sign. It
Yeah, that.
was an extra keyboard stroke on my part when I was going back and reading. Do you want me to do a clean copy?
Yeah, we can go ahead, we can go ahead and make the motion to approve it, and then just bring it back up, and then
Okay.
we'll sign it. I think we're gonna make a motion to, approve the letter of support. Or just something that reflects that letter. Letter of support for the Public Wholesale Water Supply District Number 12 Water Treatment Plant Project.
And I told them to run down and make a clean copy. I noticed I put an extra letter after one of the periods. I'll just run that back up.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to approve the letter of support for the Public Wholesale Water Supply District number 12, for water treatment plant project.
So moved. Seconded?
So Parker moved, seconded by Avendron. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0.
I'm gonna go run down and fix that real quick and get you a copy, and then I'll
Okay.
be back upstairs here in a minute.
She can't, she's on a break, and this is the only time she can talk to you.
Okay. Yeah, we can,
Otherwise,
we can do it. Do we have to call her?
no, I just gotta send it in here.
Okay. So we would do a quick interview of that last candidate.
And it rings, Mark, hit the, I think it's the speaker button. I got it, I put it in here.
Surely it does. We may like Hello?
Hello, this is Jessica.
Oh, okay. Hey, good morning, Jessica. Hey, this is Mark Peterson. We have you on speakerphone in the county commission chamber.
Okay.
We're gonna interview real quick for the planning board position. It basically took about roughly 5 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
Start with questions. And we do have a full board here present. We've got Steve McCurry, Mike Avendroth, Wade Thompson, and Todd Clark here.
Awesome. Hello, everyone.
Good morning.
So why are you interested in serving on the planning board, and what do you believe the board's role is?
I'm interested because I just kind of want to make a difference in the community. We're really working on putting down some roots, and I feel like that's a really good way to make a difference in our community. The purpose of the board should be in service of the community and in doing what's best in the interest of our citizens.
Okay. What experiences or perspectives would you bring that would strengthen the board?
I've lived in quite a few different places, including rural, some college cities. I've lived in tourist towns. So I've kind of seen a little bit of everything as far as what different places can do and what they can offer. I think that bringing some of that outside perspective into Coffee County could be really interesting. But I really love the rural lifestyle, and I would love to, keep that as one of the things that I keep in mind as, I would want to keep true to our kind of rural perspective,
Okay. What do you see as the biggest challenge facing the planning board over the next 3 to 5 years?
It seems like there is potentially going to be some controversy with, I've seen data centers popping up. I've seen a little bit of talk about different, rezoning for agriculture and stuff like that. So it seems like we'll be kind of focusing on, bringing in jobs, but being meaningful to the community.
Okay, well, kind of along that line, board members often make decisions that not everyone agrees with. How do you approach difficult or unpopular decisions?
Sometimes you just gotta do it, but that's gonna include, really getting the buy-in from whoever is opposing you. So a lot of times what that means is just really being able to explain what's going on, help people through the changes, and sometimes you just have to make a decision and deal with the fallout, even if people are upset about it.
Okay. Can you commit to regularly attending meetings, reviewing materials beforehand, and participating actively?
Yes, my new position is a very set schedule, and it seems like they're going to be pretty flexible, if there are any days I need. So yes, that would be perfect.
Okay. And what does transparency mean to you in public service?
It really just means kind of just being transparent as much as possible. Knowing your stuff and then therefore being able to explain it to, your citizens, anybody who asks, and not making any decisions that you wouldn't be comfortable telling somebody about.
Okay. I was going to ask the commissioners, you guys have any specific questions to ask? What about, what question have we not asked that you think commissioners should consider before making this appointment?
That is a great question. I'm not entirely sure if there's anything I would have to add to that.
Okay. All right, very good. Well, we certainly appreciate your interest in this position, and it may be possible later on in the meeting that we may make an appointment, so we'll see what happens here. So, appreciate your interest, and I guess have a great day.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
What's Justin's last name?
George. George.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, we slipped that in front of you, Ryan. If you'd like to come up and give us an update.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Call outs for the weekend. I think we had 3 last Friday for some trees, and had 1 yesterday. Just obviously there was some wind in the county, so took care of those. Did a few miscellaneous trees today. Minor washouts. Rains weren't too bad, but we are dealing with some minor washouts. So we'll get some of that stuff addressed today. Have 1 motion. This is basically an invitation to bid for some assorted tires, some tractor tires and some blade tires and some big truck tires.
Okay. Motion is to approve the road and bridge superintendent's request to solicit formal bids for assorted tires. Funds to be paid from the road and bridge fund.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Thompson moved, McCurry seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0.
Alright, thank you. The next, we've had a few programs we put in for KDOT funding. So there was a bridge B-156 that we submitted for an off-system bridge program. So it was not selected. It was one of 80 applications. They only awarded us 16 out of that program. B-169 we put in for a local bridge improvement program. It was not selected. It was one of 102 applications, and they awarded 15. I know one of those bridges we put in for last 8-9 years. Didn't get awarded.
Yeah, a little bit more.
And then KDOT cost share program. This would be on the airport access improvements. So it was not selected on that. They received 47 applications. They awarded 9. And so kind of reached out to Jenny. I think the email I got sounds like there may be some other programs possibly that something could be a potential for out there. So she said she'd reach out to the gal up there, and then this will open back up in the fall for the next round. So I'm sure we'll work and put in for that again.
That's for the passive.
Yeah, the turn lanes,
turn lanes.
but probably the one thing to consider is This is the match on that, I think is 15%. So, you know, if somebody wanted to increase that a little bit, I think it would entice those applications. But that's something that we can have, you guys can have more discussion on when the time draws near and decide if we want to look at putting a little more for that or not. To try and entice that application. That's the update I have. You guys got anything for me?
I have nothing.
So we did start our chip and seal today, so that'll be going hot and heavy for the next month or so. All right, appreciate
All
it.
right, thanks for
Yep,
that.
have a good week.
Thank you too.
Jenny, do you need this?
Oh, that's the signed one?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did you email me a copy of that?
Yes.
Takes us to pay application number 30. We have no county council. Well, till Wade gets here.
Move to the next.
No, we can, I was gonna say the board positions, we can discuss those real quick, I guess. Guess the easy ones right now, I mean, we have 2 airport board positions that are vacant, and we have 2 applicants. Is everybody okay with the 2 applicants that we interviewed?
I would make a motion to promote Alex Wilkins and Kerry Williams to the Airport Commission Board.
Well, probably need to add to that motion to serve a 3-year term, effective immediately, and expiring, are these the dates that they expire?
Yes.
They expire May 18, 2029. Sorry, I'm looking for the,
I'm trying to, I gotta get it.
you don't have it up yet.
It's there, it's just in black and I'm getting it in red.
Oh, there it is.
No. Formatting. Kerry, what's her last name?
Kerry Williams and Alex Wilkins. Do you want separate motions or you want them together?
Fine.
They're both the same term and everything.
Okay.
3-year term on the Coffee County Airport Board.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, McCurry seconded, right? Yeah. So the motion made by Avendroth was to appoint Kerry Williams and Alex Wilkins to serve a 3-year term on the Coffee County Airport Board, effective immediately and expiring May 18, 2029. And McCurry seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0. So we have filled those seats.
I'll make the recommendation that we, appoint Alan Holmes to the planning board.
And that would be to serve a 3-year term. And wait, that's full term, or is that
It'll be a full term.
Yeah.
It is a full term? Okay, to serve a three-year term, effective immediately and expiring April 30th, 2029.
Guess I'll second it.
Barker moved, Abendross seconded. And that this would bring the board back up to full strength, is that correct, Heidi?
Yes.
Okay, do we have any discussion on that motion?
I think Alan or Dustin, I guess I was leaning towards Dustin, but that's,
Myself too. We just have one?
Just have one right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing that I've got, but that's just my opinion, so that's.
Any thoughts on Jessica? I don't know.
I just.
She's kind of unknown.
Yeah.
And then what we heard from her. Okay, so we have a motion by Barker to appoint Alan Holmes to serve a three-year term on the Coffee County Planning Board effective immediately and expiring April 30th, 2029. And Abendross seconded that motion. Any further discussion?
One position and 3 applicants.
One position and 3 applicants. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed?
Aye.
It passes 3-2. And that was McCurry and Thompson. No. Takes care of that seat, so the only open seat we have now is we have one on the hospital board, and so far we have one applicant for that, and we intend to interview next week, unless somebody else applies, and
Right.
they yet interview another applicant, so. Okay. Well, that's done.
Got somebody in those positions, so that's good.
Yep.
Now need a county counselor right now.
That's not him.
Want me to walk the
Could be.
hall or call him?
Lindsay, did you happen to see Wade Bowie while you were out there?
I did not.
He's lost somewhere.
Okay.
He wasn't at the counter.
How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Will you be able to
Board right now, they went to go see if they could get him.
I just sent him a text. Fine job with that.
Huh?
You did a fine job with that. Hunted him down, didn't you? Hey, Bowie. Do I?
He's multitasking.
He's responding.
Do what?
He's responding, so. Be back at 3. Okay. judge requested him to appear, so. Supposed to be quick.
That must take precedence over us right now.
It's a quick plea, so.
Start your executive session.
Do what?
You can start your executive session.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about that, but I don't want to. Rather say that.
Yeah. We will run it. It'll be.
Thank you.
You want to start? Yeah. We'll start roundtable. I don't want to get into housing authority yet. I want to wait until after we get that other stuff out.
Right. Yeah, then we'll stop in the middle of that.
Angie, do you have anything for roundtable?
No, not quite yet this week, I guess, so.
Do you know when early voting would start?
Let's see.
I'm looking ahead. I was just
Yeah, it'll be,
election season's gonna be in full swing here really quick.
Is it in this?
or about July 15th, I think.
I mean, there's gotta be something there.
I would think. It's not very far down the road.
No.
Yeah, even the Merricks. How many days is it before? Is it 20 days?
Totals.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't even match up with what they had on there, so.
15.
No, I just, I'm sure.
Let me double check, Brad.
Yeah. I'm guessing there's a narrative or something.
Need a little more, we need a little more information.
Yeah, I think there's gotta be a
Maybe they're gonna buy new trucks.
Yes, July.
July 15th? You don't have anything else?
No, other than we're just putting your budget books together and there's last few stragglers we're waiting on, but they'll be ready to go and then we'll start your year into July, or June, or first part of July, start looking at the.
That's your fault, bud? Because you weren't there?
No, it's sometimes between the smell of smoke and a fire.
No, it's okay, I can do it quick. I wanna say yes, but.
So they, the Republican Central Committee
Yes,
held that.
there.
They had that picnic, Saturday. It had pretty good turnout from, for candidates. Had, was it three? They had two actual governor candidates there and then a representative for a third one. Basically one of the local candidates.
What, 3 people there for the 76?
Yeah.
District, right?
Yeah, you had two candidates and one speaking for the third.
For the governor.
No, on the 76.
Oh, yeah, right.
Even had
Yes,
State
yes,
Board
I'm
of
sorry.
Education, which you hardly ever see State Board of Education. She was there.
She seemed to know her subject.
Yeah, so. Anyway, so that went well. I had some written down, I can't remember what it was. Well, Steve, do you have anything?
I don't.
Mike?
Had a planning meeting the other night at the library. Planning board approved the zoning change for the house up at 1234 Highway 50, back to agricultural. Is that right? Or from industrial?
From industrial back to ag. You guys will see it for your possible approval on June
29th.
29th
So
at 9:05.
that went rather well, so.
I think Wade will give us an update on the appraisal process here. Wade, do you have anything?
I do not, I guess, other than, about that grass there at the airport. The renter was hoping to go look at that. With all the huge rains, he's been overwhelmed with working on water gaps in his pastures, so he'd hoped to maybe look at that this morning, so. But Darren was gonna text me if he got an answer from him, and I haven't got it yet, so I guess we'll wait another week.
Todd? All right, Wade, we're ready for, we were doing a round table, so everybody's kind of going except for you. However, we'll go ahead and go into the pay app, and then when you get done with everything, then we can do whatever you have.
Take one, pass it around. I printed it this time since we're hopefully close to the end. That way you can have something to reference if you need to, instead of just putting it up on the screen. Top sheet is the motion, and then directly behind that is the remainder of the pay app. I don't know how many pages it is, it's several. Pay app request with retainage being taken out this time around is $349,818.08. This is pay app number 30, and this is for the period ending May 31st, 2026. So as we've been covering with all of the other pay apps recently, this is specific to phase 2. And if you haven't had a chance to go check out phase 2, I encourage you to do so. So
we get lost.
I made the staple so I could read the page numbers.
It's a different place over there if you go over there. If you had been over there before the renovation, then go over there now, you have to kind of get your bearings to see exactly where you are, because the courtroom is actually small. The new courtroom, or the small courtroom, is actually in what used to be jail cells. So you stand in there and you have to look around and figure out where you are. So, IBC Carpentry pay app number 5 for them as it relates to phase 2. They're requesting $83,449.73 for this particular pay app, and doors, fixtures, hardware, materials, finished carpentry, signage, etc., all tie into this particular pay app. And if you've been over there, you'll see that that has been something that has been worked on quite a bit between the last pay app and this pay app. Next one, Higgins, walls and ceilings. Current payment due $13,100.81. There's quite a bit of ceiling tile that's been put in over there. They were waiting on, I guess, a back order of ceiling tile, so recently there was quite a bit of ceiling tile that was still exposed. It was just back ordered, and I think it's in now. So if you look at that particular pay app and what's included for the breakout, finishings, acoustical ceilings, that's the main part of it. So it's not only your tile ceiling, but it also includes a sound dampening layer above the tiles to help with acoustics for that particular room. Next is pay app number 9 for Always Faithful Painting, $6,475. I think anything speaks for itself. Myself and Commissioner Avendroth here a week or two ago, we went on an initial walkthrough and the initial punch list. There were a number of things that we walked around and pieces of tape were put all over the place that designated areas that needed to be reviewed, revised, and reworked. And since that time, River City and the subcontractors have been in taking care of and addressing those particular issues, which will then result in another review with another punch list and to see if those items have been corrected. So, and if they haven't been corrected, then another piece of tape will be put on and they'll have to come back. So it's a process. That was the process that occurred with the jail. That's occurring here to make sure that everything is right. And you know, I don't think you can 100% get everything, but you can get pretty close. So for example, if there's paint that looks like it is off or it's layered or it's missing, then it gets a piece of tape and they come in and fix that. Same thing with sheetrock, molding, whatever you can identify with the naked eye, you can put a piece of tape on. Interior Surface Enterprises, this is pay app number 1, and their current payment due $22,946. This is related to the carpet and carpet installation. So the materials and the labor, there's some tile, and for example in the bathrooms, that type of thing. And the guy who was down installing the carpet, he's very efficient, very quick, did a good job, and you'll see that once you go over there. Again, we were waiting on some of the carpet materials to show up so that the remainder of that phase could be completed, mainly the hallway that is public access. So when you go over there, you'll see that, and it looks nice. Next would be Pauley Jail, payment due $23,835.25. That's their pay app 26. They've been riding along the entire time from beginning to end. This mainly deals with their role in phase 2 regarding the secure corridor and getting things set up to communicate between the secure corridor doors and the control. The hardware and the electronics, those type of things. Next, McElroy's, $50,449.50. That's just completing what they've been doing all along regarding the plumbing and ductwork, sheet metal, the materials and the labor tied to that. Shelley Electric, $50,116.50. And again, continuing with the previous theme, they've been doing the same thing, material and labor. There have been multiple outlets. I think most recently they were adding some outlets in multiple places in phase 2, but one that probably would stand out as where the new judge's bench and to the right, to the left, and then the bench if you're looking at it, and then behind it going up into the ceiling. So ultimately that covers the entire AF, if you have any questions, I'll see if I can answer. If not, this one is pretty self-explanatory based on the work and progress that's been made over there. There's not stored materials or anything like that. We're pretty close to the end.
Okay, any questions?
Cancellation, miscellaneous.
I think they've got an affiliate in Wichita.
Any other questions? Have a motion to approve the application and certificate for payment, application number 30, for period ending May 31st, 2026, submitted by River City Construction LLC in the amount of $349,818.08. For work completed, reference the Coffee County Law Enforcement Center project associated with Phase 2. Funds to come from the Jail Construction Project Fund, which is Fund 111.
I'll make that motion.
Second that.
Curry moved, Thompson seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
They opposed? Passes 5-0.
I don't need to sign the pay-app, right?
Nope, just change orders.
Number 18, discussion related to North property appraisal. Take one, pass it around. So what I just handed, what's coming around is an appraiser agreement. Jeff Clark, if you recall, he had agreed to complete the appraisal with 2 other appraisers to assist him. He wanted something in writing, as did the other individuals. I prepared this agreement, and it's actually backwards, that they've already reviewed it and signed it, and you see on page 2, it includes their name, signatures, and the dates they signed it, and then their Kansas licensed appraiser numbers. So what's needed with this particular document is for approval of the board for the chairman to sign that particular document. Also attached are
3 invoices related to work that these appraisers have already done and completed. And in fact, although I'm not prepared to present the final figure today, it wouldn't be something I'd want to do in an open session. I can give a range, and the range is intentionally going to be wide open, and the reason why is, depending on how you want to move forward with that particular property, I don't want to give somebody a competitive advantage at this point, because based on the appraised value of the combination of the house and the land, you're going to need to establish what the price is that you're looking for to sell the property. And if I go ahead and disclose that amount now, well, then you're going to be locked in, and you may want to have the ability to negotiate. So I will say the appraised value is between $900,000 and $2 million, and that's intentionally wide open. But that gives you an idea. So initial request is for a motion to authorize the chairman to sign the appraisal agreement, and that appraisal agreement is with licensed appraisers Jeff Clark, Scott Steele, and Casey Stead, or Steve, I don't know how you pronounce his last name. And it basically, the agreement just references the property, what the request is, has the legal description, that their role is to provide a fair market opinion of value of the property and provide that opinion only to the Coffee County Commission for the primary purpose of establishing fair market value to be used to establish a market asking price for the sale of the property. Jeff Clark is also working on a more comprehensive appraisal, which will have comparables and whatnot, so you have something to look at and review that. But the 3 option, just to maybe refresh your memory, is very similar to what happens in the courtroom when the court appoints appraisers and a request is made to have a fair market value established for courtroom proceedings. So,
do you have a motion prepared, or do you need to type that out?
We'll probably need, I didn't know what you'd want to do with this. The second part is there's 3 invoices, and I'm not sure where you want those funds to come from.
Get Angie in here.
So then the question from there, now that you have this part of the process, I guess, complete outside of the comprehensive report from Jeff Clark, which should be coming in the next week or so. I don't know how you want to move forward, what your plan is regarding if you want to initiate the next step and decide now, are you ready to get the auction process, or however you want to move forward with that property? Do you want to wait for the full comprehensive appraisal from Jeff Clark before you make a decision? Just looking for some guidance and direction.
How long did you say on the comprehensive? How long that would take?
So it'd be a motion for the chairman to sign that appraisal agreement with the 3 names that are included at the end. He said within a week to, I think within the next week. He's working on it now.
I don't think we want to wait to see that. We put all this money into it, so let's see what
How they arrived at that figure.
Okay.
Jeff come in and present that, maybe we'll handle that?
He can, he gave, me the option of the report standing for itself or being willing to present to the board to explain his rationale. Again, whatever that is, whatever that amount is, at least initially, you'll probably want to, and if you want it to all come out, then I guess all your cards are on the table, but you'll need to establish whatever your asking price is.
Right.
If we're, that price, that shouldn't be publicly disclosed until, if we're gonna auction it the day of the auction, I mean, that's when the auction bidding is ended, would it?
Right.
I mean, the appraisal opinion will end up disclosed at some point, and, you know, for those who want to know, to make sure that the commissioners and the county are being good stewards of county property and selling the property. I mean, I think that's a fair ask, but in the negotiation process and establishing what your pricing is, I think it's also a reasonable ask to not turn that over. Now, I've not given it to you guys, so it doesn't become an open record, and I'm gonna hold it for now.
Okay, so you just table it until we get the
We can do an executive session for him to explain to us the rationale, can't we? Or does that need to be about, so we don't have
I think the rationale, if it comes down to how to move forward and what legal path you want to take, I think it would be fair to have a discussion under the attorney-client exception as a consultation and provide legal advice moving forward, but I would need to know what lane you want to move in to be able to appropriately do so.
mainly want to move in and get the most out of it. We can't.
Right, I just don't think it's in our best interest to disclose that figure or minimum or anything prior to the end of the auction. That's legal, and I don't see why it's not.
Well, one thing you will need to consider and think about this, I think at a minimum you need to set a reserve, because if you don't get an offer for that reserve, then you need to have the ability to say, we're not interested, and then redo it over again.
But that needs to be here amongst us,
Sure. I mean, there are, to have a wide open auction where you have no reserve, I mean, there are certain times, and
I don't think we've ever thought about that, because that's why we had the appraisal, so we knew kind of where we were at.
Yeah.
Where we had a reserve.
But in my mind, we need to arrive at a figure that may be below or above that appraisal, but, obviously a minimum, we're not gonna be, for us, it's not gonna be above, or our minimum will be above that appraisal, but in my mind, we need to be flexible if we get close to that figure and we wanna convert to cash, is my opinion.
so the second part of, I guess, that property as a whole, obviously, new legal boundaries were put together for that property to get to the 70 acres that it's at right now.
Right.
You have the remainder of that property, and I don't know if Jenny has anything to add to the conversation regarding that property, and I know she and I had a conversation at one point in time about appraisal that you're going through for the house and the property that's included in that particular property description, but what about the rest of it? And then if somebody's interested in that, or do you hang tight and wait for what happens with that property, the house and the rest of that property? Or if somebody wants to, if somebody approaches Jenny and wants to consider purchasing all of it, I don't know. Do you have any thoughts or?
That's exactly what we talked about, and that's just why I was sitting listening, where my office is concerned with that remaining land. I've heard from some of you there could be an interest in still developing that at some point or bringing in some kind of industry. So that's why I asked Wade, like, okay, if we're getting the house in that area appraised, do we need to go back and get an appraisal on the rest of the land? At this point, if somebody were to ask me about it, I don't really know a figure to tell them how much the rest of that property would be worth, or how to even start that, or if at some point we want to market it for commercial or industrial, what that looks like. So I know how much we paid for it, but that was with the house and with the land and when a project was looking at going in there, so it could be vastly different.
Go ahead.
I would think we go full bore on what we're doing at the house. And if something comes up with the other ground, at that point we'll tackle having it appraised and going from there. If there's a worthy person or persons or groups that are interested in that ground.
It would make a difference to me what that group was.
Yes.
And what was going in, and
Right,
and
and
what
I
the
know
intention.
that conversation's a
because
little
that
bit different from the conversation with the house, because if you're talking
Yeah.
economic development, you guys are also concerned about job growth and other
Right.
things versus just a dollar amount.
That would have to be weighed as to the benefits that we would get from some type of development.
Right.
Okay.
In my opinion, that's still my goal at this point.
And that's all tied to us getting the water out there where it's shovel ready. That'll increase the valuation of that property. So I'd say just set on it for right
Okay.
now.
That's
I'm
my
fine with that. I
And
just
that's my thought.
wanted to add that as part of the conversation, so.
Yeah,
I
I've already got it, it's already paid for.
Okay.
I think it's an excellent location, I think we need to hold on to it.
So, we do have a motion. Have a motion to authorize and direct the chairman to sign the appraiser agreement with Jeff Clark, Scott L. Steele, and Casey Stitt related to the North Property appraisal.
So does that entail the payment to these folks, or is that going to be separate, or is that?
No. Should we clarify that this is for the 71.65 acres including the house, rather than just describing it as?
Just say North Property appraisal.
Put the address on it.
Yeah. That's my thought. What is it?
1234 Old Highway 50.
Yeah.
The appraiser's agreement has
71.65 acres.
Do I weigh?
It's got the property description and
Hold on.
somewhere,
Yeah, it's got the legals on
it's
it.
got the
It
legal,
does.
and it references,
Common
It does, but just for,
sure,
to be on record here of what the motion was for, that the appraisal was for that property, is my thought.
So that would,
Yes.
we would add to North Property appraisal at 1234 Old Highway 50, 71.65 acres.
I'll move.
I'll second it.
Okay, Thompson moved, Parker seconded. Any further discussion on that?
Do we need to have something in here about paying the $3,000 for the appraisal?
Right.
Yeah, do
Or
we,
is that a separate motion?
well, it's incorporated into the agreement, I think, I don't know where mine went out.
So
If you look
yeah, the
on,
last whereas?
Yep, last whereas the county agrees to provide payment to each appraiser in the amount not to exceed $1,000 for appraisal services performed in completion of an appraisal opinion of the property. Invoices for fees will be submitted to county and are to be paid within 30 days of receipt of an undisputed invoice. And we have those three. The question is, where would that be paid from? But that's separate.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0. So do we need to go ahead and decide where we're gonna take that from? Suggestion. There's three $1,000 invoices.
So everything you've been paying for that house was out of capital improvement reserve, but you could always do general fund, courthouse general, contractual line item too.
So everything that's been done up there so far is out of what?
Community improvement reserve is what you had done. And then we were with plans to replenish that once it's sold or
Right.
whatever. So
I would say just
continue on.
Right.
That'd keep those funds straight, then if
It
there's
would.
money in there.
It would.
Easier to find, really.
Exactly, and if that's where you've been, if that's where we've been doing it, then
Yeah.
Say it once it sells, we
Put it back.
Okay.
I got lots of zeros in my account.
So do you want another motion for that? Do another motion?
We need a motion for that, or
Well,
just
take it, if it just needs to be submitted, we'll put a
Okay, so,
stamp on it.
so community improvement reserve, if you've got the invoices.
Yeah, they were on the back of it.
Oh.
Do you have that? The last three pages.
I just have to, oh wait, okay, here I do. This is the agreement for you to sign. And then give them to Jessica.
Yeah.
Or do you wanna sign them, Wade, since it's your deal?
Okay.
Yeah, should be. Whole deal. On your shoulders.
How about you? How about you, Zoe? Wade, are you gonna have anything else on the round table, or should we do, try to decide whether to have you go ahead and finish up, or go to housing authority?
I've got, unfortunately, quite a bit more paper to send your way.
Really?
Before I do, the first thing is, and this is a roundtable discussion. So I had a conversation with Henbro, Brian Pennington, that's the HVAC system, and this has sort of been looming in the background for a little while. The air handler that the county has, and it's right outside, has some parts that are needing an upgrade. And if you don't upgrade, it's not it, but when there will be, I don't want to say a catastrophic failure, but a failure that will result in having to purchase a new air unit and the controls that go with it. Estimates for an air unit for what we currently have are in the neighborhood of $250,000 plus whatever the controls would be. The good news is that's not what you need to do right now. What is being recommended is to upgrade to a new controller and actuators, and the controllers and actuators are estimated somewhere in the neighborhood of $10,000. Our computer system is outdated, and there needs to be a complete systems upgrade, and then the actuators need to be replaced to be able to control it. Right now, it's sort of for lack of better wording, what it made me think of is duct taping the system together and it's operational, but it's been programmed to fool itself for right now, but that's only gonna last so long. So I'm bringing this up because a decision needs to be made sooner rather than later, because if it fails and goes out, especially in the heat of the summer, there's not gonna be any air for this building. In addition, outside of that, the VAVs are also gonna need to be replaced, and that can be phased in over a year at a time, and that's somewhere in the neighborhood of $5,000 per year.
So to upgrade it's 10,000, is that correct, Wade?
In the neighborhood of 10,000.
I mean, in the
right.
right.
Yeah. 10,000, it's a sticker shock to get yourself updated to where you need to go, but I think in the long run, the long-term cost could be significantly more, $250,000 plus to replace the entire system. From what Ryan told me, and I talked to him myself, he had been working with Barb, and she said, you need to talk to him. This is me talking about an area, obviously, that I don't have subject matter expertise in it, so I'm relaying what was relayed to me the best I can. But he indicated our system, once it's upgraded and you decide to spend that money, will last quite some time without having to replace the entire system.
My question, how much life we have.
Yeah.
Or was it a Band-Aid?
He said it's not a Band-Aid, because I asked that. I told him, I said, the commissioners are gonna wanna know if they spend $10,000, $15,000, whatever it is it a Band-Aid that will only last 2 or 3 years? He said, no, unfortunately, it's just the technology has advanced, and getting technology up to date, which will then change out the actuators and the VAVs. I had written down somewhere what VAVs stand for, but now I can't remember.
Put a guarantee on this for several years, or?
I'm not sure if we did talk about a guarantee. I mean, he's been working on our system for several years. He knows it very well. He's done a number of, handles the maintenance and repairs. He worked for his previous employer, was Modern Air, so he goes back in time, and he knows our system probably as well as, if not better than anybody out there.
Well, if it only got us another 5 years compared to the cost of a new one, would be, you have money well spent in my mind.
So it was 10,000 for,
Yeah.
approximately 10,000 for that, and then you said something about a 5,000 for, and what was that for?
To replace the VAVs.
Okay.
Do you know what VAVs are, Mike? VAVs.
Variable actuator valves?
I think that sounds right.
Wow.
Sounds good.
Sounds good, Mike.
Been around a couple days.
Variable air volume.
Yeah.
Huh?
Variable air volume.
Oh, volume.
Using
He's only
commercial
off by one
buildings.
word.
Same thing, I mean, valves.
Yeah.
Fred's climate control by varying the volume of airflow to a space. That's what.
Basically, they just zone out different parts of that.
Yeah.
The releases.
For temperature needs and
Yeah,
whatever.
one of them's not cold, and the other's, it's an AI answer. So what do we need to do?
I need to get
Spend $10,000?
Well, no, I don't have anything, because I wanted to know what your thoughts were, and kind of plant the seed that this needed to be done. If I have the green light,
Pursuing it.
I think we
I
need
am
to get the
too.
wheels in motion
10
immediately.
or 15,000 versus 250,000.
Yeah.
Bring something back to us next week or
Yeah,
something.
ASAP sounds like.
I told Ryan to work on a quote, so he's working on that, but I wanted to give you the sticker shock.
Okay.
upfront.
Well, the sticker shock would be the $250,000.
$10,000 is still sticker shock. So next, if you take one and pass it around, and this will require a motion. This is in reference to the road viewing that we talked about, scheduled for July 13th. And as part of the process, you need to appoint road view, and that's what this motion is for. What I handed you is basically correspondence of I have the original that will go in the mail. And I've spoken with each of these individuals, identified the date and the time, and all of them have it on their calendar. Good. So the three disinterested viewers, which is a statutory term, are Tim Syke, Robert Harkrader, and Kerry Trossel. Okay. And I can move on and we can take up.
Since I have the motion here, I could read it and just,
So next.
Yeah,
we'll come
back to it.
So the next packet is tied to the same thing. And what's included in this packet are all of the individuals who are receiving notice regarding this request to close the road. So it has basically a letter that explains why they're receiving it, and it includes the petitioner, it includes the notice, which I'm going to ask you to approve, and this has been signed by me, signed by Angie, and will need to be published and certified mail. So I have the packets ready to go. I have a list of all of the landowners who are legally and statutorily required to receive notice. And as a courtesy, I had a map put together by the appraiser's office to show for each of the letters that is going to go out where that property is, and from a overhead view where this process is going to take place. So the last notice should be to Steve Rosemer, who I've also contacted and is available, and he's the county surveyor who's also required to be a part of that process. So of the letters that are going out and the notice that's being provided, it gives the time, place, and what's going to be occurring and when. So in the notice, which is this is the one that has the seal and has been signed, I guess the lead ink by both myself and Angie. It includes notice being provided by the county clerk by certified mail to each owner of property adjoining the road at the address where owner's tax statement is sent pursuant to PSA 68-102A, and then publication, and I have, although it's 3 different publication dates, and hopefully those dates work for you, Mark. At the very bottom of the notice that would be on page 2 of each of those letters. June 18th, June 25th, and July 2nd. What's required once per KSA 68-102A, and then 2 consecutive weeks per KSA 68-104, with the viewing and hearing to occur no more than 20 days after the date of the second publication of notice. So that fits that time period. And what's below the names or the signatures does not need to be in the paper, just everything else above that. This also is required to stay available and in the county clerk's office, so I would ask for a motion to approve the notice of hearing on the petition to vacate or close a portion of Oxen Lane between 8th and 9th roads, and that's at the very top of what's on page 2.
Okay, you said motion to,
Approve the notice of hearing on petition to vacate or close a portion of Oxen Lane between 8th and 9th roads.
screen is doing this.
Okay.
Do you want that one before the appointment of the others?
It doesn't matter, I don't think. This is. I don't think so, man.
Okay. I put it before the appointment, so
Yeah.
however you want to do it.
I have a motion to approve the notice of hearing on petition to vacate, close a portion of Oxen Lane between 8th and 9th roads. I will make that motion.
Second that.
Anderson moved, Thompson second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 5-0. And then I have a motion to appoint Tim Sipe, Robert Harperator, and Kerry Trossel pursuant to KSA 68-104 as 3 disinterested households to serve as road viewers with the commissioners for a road viewing scheduled to occur on Monday, July 13th, 2026.
I'll move.
Seconded. Curry moved. Appendraw seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? That passes 5-0. Anything else?
That was fun.
Okay. That wraps up your roundtable, Olson.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, we'll move on to the last item we're gonna have on the agenda was housing authority discussion. And, what kind of discussion do we wanna have concerning the housing authority?
I guess first thing,
Go ahead.
when's the lease up on your building?
August 1st.
August 1st.
I don't know how we wanna approach this, I mean, cause the way I view this, they have a board that governs them, and, I mean, we can make some suggestions to them, I guess, what we might wanna see, but I think it's ultimately up to their board to decide what's the best decision they can make for the housing authority. They should be responsible for, spending those dollars the best they can. So, that's, as far as the county commission, I mean, we can make some suggestions to them, but I don't feel we should be telling them what to do, since they have a board to oversee them. That's, just in general, that's how I feel about it.
I personally feel they need to be on the courthouse.
I guess I feel the same, and it's not anything to do with the board's operation of the housing authority. We've got space here that are used taxpayer dollars to save that money. I think we've got space to do any of the operations that's needed, would look like to me. If you have a larger number of people at a meeting, it could be in the room downstairs. I guess that's my opinion, my thought on it. And that has nothing to do with the the daily decisions that board makes to operate this entity. Just that it's a way for us to save some money. That's my thought.
And that's my thought also, as long as we can find a space that's adequate for her and her staff to operate out of. And that's one reason I asked, I have no intention, I don't want to, I'm with Mark on what he said.
Yeah, I don't want to micromanage.
I don't want to micromanage.
In any way,
If we can find a space that's adequate for you and your staff, I guess that's where I was coming from. And that's why I asked when your lease was up on the building.
Yeah, so also to go with that, my lease is up August 1st, but in my lease agreement, I was supposed to give 60 days notice if I was not re-signing that lease. That was June 2nd, so.
Okay. Well, we'd have to extend it 60 days then if we did.
Yeah.
If we're beyond that date.
Pay a fine on it.
Yeah.
Whatever we have to do.
Whatever that is.
And I don't want to speak for my board, but I know a large number of them have said that if I come to the courthouse, they will no longer be on my board. So,
But I'm not sure why that would have any effect.
I don't know the
Because
reasoning.
they would still be doing what they've done. It would just be an office space change that I'm just saying.
You know, we've got Heidi's department that's right here, has a
And I understand that.
has a large board and she operates independently. That board, works with her. So.
And look, it's just,
I don't.
it's dollars and cents.
No, I understand.
It's nothing that,
No,
it's nothing against
nothing
you or your
else.
board. I do want you to
No,
understand.
and I do, I know that 3 of them have said that they would no longer be on the board, so.
Like giving input.
Yes.
I'd kinda like to see it up here too, I agree with the rest of the guys, try to save some tax money down there, so Boy, you just got 2 new ones put on there, didn't you?
I guess the next question would be where would that space be?
Jeannie, is this something you might have an open office for downstairs in your
Well-
department, or?
And my question is, and I don't know if this would need to be a consideration or if that'd be like a Wade question, is if you guys, somehow it got decided to move the housing authority here, would it matter that then technically Lindsay's not a county employee for like her getting in the building, access? Like I know we're thinking about that right now with our world champion. She's just grant funded. She's not an employee, so like I didn't give her obviously like a key fob to the building or security access. She can only come in when I'm in the office or Rhonda's in the office. So that might be something you have to think about as well.
What about Heidi's old office right there in front of you that's adjoining her kitchen?
Yeah, I mean, there is office space downstairs. It's big enough for probably one person to office out of there. I was just saying, I don't know if security would be a consideration.
I mean, I know we have some office space, I guess. What they would have to look at, I guess, and see if it's adequate office space.
And that's my concern. I mean, that's,
Yeah, we definitely have to come up with a spot for it.
yeah. Because I don't want to see it come up here and then it's a fiasco where they don't have the space or the privacy to do the business that need to be done.
Well, and of course, I don't see.
I just got a question, Lindsay. I understand that you're independently under Blue Cross Blue Shield for your insurance?
Correct.
Is that because, how would you?
Because I'm not a county employee.
Yeah.
I'm not a county employee.
Right.
She doesn't get her paycheck from the
No.
county, I think.
So is it more expensive to be just you on that Blue Cross Blue Shield policy other than like a class group package right now?
I don't know. I mean, I've not done the numbers. I just know what mine is.
Because that's what was offered. I mean, that's what you've always
That's
been
what we've always been
Right,
on.
right,
Yeah.
right.
That was my thought right now. I was thinking that it wouldn't be anything that would happen right away, but maybe, I don't know if there's, in the future, if it was possible where she could be a county employee.
Well, that was my
But-
question.
on a group.
Yeah.
I'm sure a group's cheaper than a single policy with Blue Cross.
But I don't know how that would work with all the bylaws or what changes would have to happen.
Either way.
I'm sorry. We were talking about in the future, I mean, right now, Lindsay, I mean, they're independent down there. She is not a county employee. Is that something that in the future that might be a possibility where she could be a county employee? And I don't know how the bylaws are set up, or how they would change, or, because if she was a county employee, then there could be county insurance.
Sure. I know originally, if I remember right, that was the original setup where the executive director was a county employee, but I'd have to sit down and sort it out. There'd have to be some amendments or some changes that would need to occur.
And if we did this, you could be your legal representative as far as the county. So we don't see money there without their attorney.
You would probably designate that, and it'd be similar to provide legal advice as requested, similar to what I do with planning and zoning or some of the others.
Is that something that you'd have the time to do, or, I mean, we're looking at some more help for you, is that something you'd have time to do, you think?
I mean, I'll do whatever you guys want me to do. We need to figure out what that structure would look like, and in all fairness to Lindsay and the Housing Authority, I'd wanna sit down with them and figure out what things look like from their perspective.
So Lindsay, let me understand, if you were to vacate the building, you need to give them 60 days, is that correct?
Correct.
I mean, at any time?
Mhm.
So just because the lease is up August 1 doesn't mean that if it were decided to make the transition, all you would have to do is give them 60 days.
It's, the way it's worded is 60 days before the lease is up. So,
Okay,
August 1st is when my lease is up, so it's supposed to be 60 days before then.
okay.
So after that lease is up August 1st, is it renewable year to year or month to month?
Year to year.
Okay.
I guess number one, I mean, we're talking about space and everything, I guess we need to take a look at what is available in the courthouse and see if there's something adequate.
And then, I'm sorry. And then it was brought up that if that were to happen, Wade, then as far as security, for them to come in after hours or whatever, I mean, how would that be if
They're not, she's not an employee.
if she's not an employee, how would that affect?
Is that an issue?
I brought up the point, if they were to move her, let's say, to the office next to mine, if she wasn't a county employee, would she be given like a key fob like we have? Would there be, I know that would be a consideration.
So, not exactly the same, but I guess a comparable. The court system, a felony probation officer had been at a remote building off-site, and after learning sort of what that situation looked like and probably more of a safety concern for a single person being out where they were, just having a Ring camera to monitor their interactions with people who are on felony probation for a variety of different crimes. At least in this building, there's surveillance and the opportunity if something does happen that's monitored. I mean, people don't sit there and monitor it all the time. I don't want it to sound like that, but the ability to go back and look if something goes south. So an arrangement was made where that individual is actually in Heidi's office and has a room and they have a key, and I think there's times when they stay late in the evening and they meet with
I just lock her in.
with clients and they can get in and out with a key fob. Adam or Brad or whoever can basically take a card and get access to whatever doors, and all the other doors can be locked. It's not, I don't think it's that part of nighttime access is an issue.
We could do away with all that when you're a county employee.
So I know if you're looking for space in this building, I know you have an office that's by you that was used as juvenile intake. Juvenile intake is now,
It would probably be adequate for one person to use it for an office. There's some storage. I don't know if it would accommodate the entire housing authority program.
sure, there's the room across the hall, that just thinking of different spaces you have potentially available, and then Heidi's office mate, once the renovation has completed, my understanding is they're gonna transition community corrections into one of the offices that's being vacated, where a judge or one of the staff members is gonna move into the new renovation. So that means Heidi will have an office that's available, and I guess the benefit of that office is it's got a door that closes and there's privacy.
You can lock it.
There's
Meeting room in it also,
so I'm just throwing those out there as
options.
Locations, but I don't know exactly what the needs are of the housing authority either, to be honest with you.
So Heidi, I mean, once the renovation is done, and then you're going to move, is that correct?
Nope.
No, there,
Oh, no.
she's
I'm
got
sorry.
a room.
no.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not sure.
He's just saying that there's an office space in my,
Oh, okay.
in my office area
Okay.
that would be vacated.
Okay.
No,
okay.
I am not moving. I've moved twice, I'm good, I'm not moving
No,
again, sorry.
I'm not trying to stir anything up, okay?
I'm
I
not
just
moving.
misunderstood.
No, I'm done. I moved twice already, I'm good. I moved out and came back.
Yeah.
So basically, I mean, the suggestions basically would not affect, don't wanna have any effect on what the housing authority does as far as grants and the programs and whatever. It's just solely basically for office space right now. And possibly making some changes where in further savings in the future, I guess, if you could transition to be a county employee and the health insurance and everything. Is that what we're thinking?
That's what the thoughts are now, isn't it?
Yes.
Although,
I'm
with
curious.
the time frame, I'm not seeing it happening right away.
I think there has to be, make sure that if something does happen, it needs to be right. It can't be just a knee-jerk reaction to bring her staff, her into the building. I think it needs to be thought out and make sure that the space is adequate and that, I mean, the board's still gonna be intact. I mean, one way or the other. And that being said, if you have to give 60 days, I don't know what the penalty would be for, I just think we need a little more time for Wade to talk with you and your board and
briefing your board to see if it's possible to make it work.
I might suggest that you have a board representative here and one of their board representatives maybe communicate. I don't want there to be, I know there's an attorney for the housing authority right now, so if I have any contact, there's sort of some legal implications and I don't want there to be an issue there. And then to figure out if something can be worked out, if it can, what that would look like, and then how that transition would take place, or if it's a no-go altogether, I don't know. But in all fairness to their board and their process, I know as long as they have legal representation, that creates a problem for me having contact and communication with them. And I want to respect that process as well. And I would expect the same if it were somebody wanting to have communication with this board, I'd actually demand that.
So you can't contact with them even if their attorney's present?
I can, so what I can do is reach out to their legal representation, and he and I can communicate and then figure out what that path would be, and if he's present, we might be able to sit down and have that conversation, but I wouldn't do it any other way.
Sure, absolutely.
How about if we make the offer of some office space in the courthouse and to see if they can, utilize the office space and possibly move here. And if not, I mean, they could consider the officer and then offer and let us know one way or another if it'll work, and explain why or why not. Out of it. I mean, not just yes or no, but actually consider it and figure out why it would work or not work.
Well, I guess I don't see any reason it's not a workload situation, but maybe there's something I'm missing.
Yeah, well, and that's what we're looking at, but if there's a reason why it would not work, I mean, I'd want to know why. Is that fair? Is that something you could draft, Wade, a letter kind of saying that, I guess, offering the office space, seeing if it will work.
Pursue a letter or direct communication. My concern with a letter would be, if you've received a text message, and I have these conversations with people all the time, your intent and how you sound and what your intent is in sending the message, and then how it's received, it can be received completely different. And someone could be calm in their presentation, and you receive it and they interpret it as yelling or whatnot. So I prefer not to do text message, either a phone call or in person, where you can sit down and actually talk face to face.
Much better.
I guess I'd always prefer face to face rather than, I mean.
But my suggestion would be, if that's what you want, to have a face to face conversation, myself, their legal representation, one commissioner, one board member, and maybe Lindsay as well, since she's sort of caught in the middle right now. In all fairness to her, because this has to be unsettling to her about what's going to happen in the transition, and I get that, but maybe start there and then see where things go from there, and you can have a constructive conversation instead of just sending something over in writing. My opinion.
I guess I'd be interested in knowing what the penalty would be, say if 6 months down, or whatever it may be, that the transition would be, what would be the penalty in the,
on the lease.
On the lease. Do you have any idea, Lindsay, what that?
I mean, I would have to look at it fully. I mean, I've looked
Sure,
at it obviously,
sure,
but.
and I didn't expect you to answer today, but that would be one
It'd
question.
probably be paying out the lease, would be my assumption.
For the rest of the term.
If they were expecting someone to be there for a year.
Sure,
So.
sure.
Give it another month and I'll just be a puddle melting my way across the floor.
Okay, so,
Know the feeling.
when does your board meet next?
Tomorrow.
Is your council ever present at the meetings?
Very rarely.
Okay.
I think even if the council's not present, for as much as I don't like communicating by Zoom or those means unless absolutely necessary, I mean, this is one where a Zoom meeting could potentially be set up, and to have it, I mean, time is of the essence, so you can reach out, get whoever the individuals that need to be a part of that conversation present, and then not create a open meetings violation by having too many people a part of it, and just sit down and kind of talk it out and see where we are, and then from there figure out what the next steps are.
So we do a meeting outside of their meeting?
Correct, with just Lindsay, their legal counsel, a board member of their choice, a board member of your choice, and myself, and then sort of talk about all the items that you've discussed today and have discussed previously, and see where it goes.
My representative is also Burlington and New Strong, so depending on the day, he would be in the area. Just he could come.
Yeah, he'd be here Wednesday.
Yeah.
There's a council meeting Wednesday. Want to try to do something for Wednesday? Probably late. Do you have court?
It'd have to be late, trying to.
Burlington City Council meets at 6, so. Zoom. They're at 7, should be at 7.
I don't have that. I might be done by 4. Court's always a wild card.
Well, we could see if we could meet possibly at 5 or shortly after, or. And he has to be at the Burlington City Council, I need to be at the Burlington City Council also, so. I mean, if you want me to do it.
That's on Wednesday, I can't, do it. I've got a meeting that evening, already scheduled.
Let's see if we can set something up for like 5 Wednesday. Or could probably go as late as 5:15 or 5:20 or something. Surely it wouldn't take very long.
I just reached out to him, so I will know.
And I don't know if you'd have Bill or James or.
Bill or James or Greg, I'll ask one of them tomorrow.
Okay.
It makes sense if it was Bill, but I know James wants to probably be there.
See if we can get it figured out then.
Yep.
Okay, anything else? Yeah. Anything else at all? Any more roundtable?
I'm just gonna add this to correspondence. I'm sending out certified mail to elevator company. This is the letter. I have what my delay was with getting hold of the original contract. Interesting enough, when it comes around, if you take a look at it, that contract was signed June 1st of 1990 by a representative of Coffee County. Looks like Roger Hopkins. I don't know who that is. And it was effective as of August 1st, 1990, and continued thereafter until terminated as provided herein. So it's basically an agreement that auto renews every year, and I don't like those agreements for that reason. I like having agreements that basically live with the county. Wrong county.
Oh, it's still.
So, but it's the right place, you know. You got me thinking, because there is a Coffee County, Tennessee seal, right? Meta EE. So, and then at some point in time, PKE is going with the contract. So just for historical reasons, how did we get to where we are? And why I'm usually opposed to language that auto renews, because then you get,
No, these are mine.
you don't know, right, you don't know historically what happened, so when you have a contract, it's my opinion, and I think the best way to handle contracts is you don't have it last any further than the life cycle of your board, which means every 4 years. 5 years is at the longest.
I would agree with
So that's going out in the mail today as well. Then notice that we're not, we want to terminate that agreement.
Okay, anything else? Okay, I think we will adjourn at 12:36.